Hi everybody and welcome back to my backyard once again. This might be one of the most interesting FPV bundles out there. It's the BetaFPV Meteor75 HD Kit, and you get everything you need to fly in the box. And the most interesting part is that you get a very capable drone and HD digital transmission because it's using the new BetaFPV P1, and these are HD goggles. And actually I've already tried another drone with this system called the Aquila 20, which was more aimed at beginners. It was a slightly bigger drone, heavier, with sensors on the bottom, keeping the drone stable. And it's very nice for beginners, but when you want to fly a little bit more agile, it's a heavy drone and it doesn't perform 100%. This, on the other hand, should be a very nice flyer, suitable both for beginners, but also more advanced pilots that want to use this new system. Let's open the box and see what's inside. You get a carrying pouch, and inside you'll find everything you need to fly. You get a BetaFPV light radio for special edition. This is a pretty good entry-level radio. It has a good selection of switches, Express LRS inside, so it's compatible with most drones on the market right now. Internal battery you can charge with a USB-C. You can also connect it to a simulator, both wired and wireless, thanks to Bluetooth. Then you got this VR04 HD Digital goggles, so they're gonna be much better than analog. You see in 180p 60. They have a latency of 60 milliseconds, around that, so it's not the fastest, but it's totally flyable. They work with the BetaFPV P1 system. They have a lot of cameras and drones coming with that, and also other receivers. And this should also be intercompatible with all Artlynk based systems coming out in the market in the next month. So it's gonna be a very interesting ecosystem. The goggles are comfy. They have very minimal light leakage. Maybe the mask is a little bit too wide, but probably can be adjusted somehow. I have a little bit of light coming down from here, but it's a nice experience. The screen field of view is quite large. They have integrated batteries at the back of your head, and they are replaceable and rechargeable thanks to the USB-C at the top, and you can even turn the goggles on with this button. And they come with a micro SD card slot for recording your footage. At the side of the drone, you have an accessory pouch with a 2-battery USB-C charger and also tester. It has a screen inside telling you the battery voltage, spare frame parts and spare propellers, together with the adapter to connect to the flight controller. 2 batteries, one has Lava 580 milliamps HV, USB-A to C cable, Phillips screwdriver, and the goggles battery. And finally, let's open the drone. I have the drone and also a spare frame at the bottom. I don't know if this is optional or always included. And finally, let's talk about the drone, which is very interesting because despite being small, it has very big 45mm propeller. It should have a very interesting power to weight ratio. The weight is 37 grams. It's still lightweight, but slightly heavier than analog because it's using 2 boards inside. One is the flight controller, the other is the P1 HD transmitter. Soon they will combine both boards together. I tested a prototype and it was super cool. The motors are 1102 22,000 kV, a G4 flight controller with 12 amp CSCs and Express LRS integrated into it. The HD camera is tiltable, which is very nice. If you are a beginner, you can put it lower. If you want to go faster, you can put it higher. And the transmission power of this HD board is 200 milliwatt maximum. Will give you around 400 meters of range. And finally, it's time to fly. I have a lot of chicken strolling around, so I hope I can chase some of them. Let's slot the battery in, and the mount is specifically made for this kind of battery. Let's fly. And angle mode. Boom. Oh. Today is slightly windy, and this drone is very silent still. Also, it's quite hot. I have the top strap pulling the goggles up. I need to pull them down. Okay. No, I don't like... Oh! Why did I... No, why did I disarm? Okay, I don't know this radio yet, so sorry about that. No! Nice. Okay, I hope the chicken didn't have... maybe the camera angle, I need to lower it a little bit. I hope the chicken didn't have time to go recover, because they always take cover. So this is my first flight, and already, where the hell are all? There they are. There they are. Ha! Hi there. So the 60 milliseconds of latency, when you go behind objects, they become more, I feel like, and you can feel the latency slightly, and you can feel it sooner than other systems like DJI, of course, which is much lower latency. We should have it written somewhere. No. But it's flyable. Of course, it's not gonna be for racing, but for sure the drone flies much better than the Aquila 20. Also, the image transmission is quite fine. I will say it's better than analog. It stutters sometimes behind plants and stuff. So I don't know if I prefer seeing stuttering or interference. But when you don't have plants in the way, it's better. There, nice chicken chase. Where the hell is the robot lawnmower? The drone flies very nicely. There it is. Wait, can I land on it? Maybe I need to lower the camera angle a little bit. I hope it's not coming. Oh, I hope it's not coming here where I'm standing, but it should avoid me. No problem. And it's nice being able to record HD. If I go, it's going charging. It's not, oh, you saw the latency there. When you go behind objects, the latency becomes a lot. It passed me like 30 centimeters from me. No. Okay. Yes, the robot is going to charge. Wow, what a weird path it chose. Oh! I maybe not go in front of it. But I believe it stopped when he saw the drone in front of it. It's crazy. Look, it's turning around. Oh my god, this strap. No! No! Today is not my day, but it's incredibly hot. My forehead is sweating and the goggles are sliding. Okay, let's see if my theory is correct. If I sit in front of the robot, is it gonna... No, no, it did not. Let's see here. No. No, it just doesn't care. Wait, is the drone low enough to the ground? Okay, no, let's not do that, it's stupid. Maybe with an 865 I would have gone under the robot because I'm curious, but okay. I believe I saw a low battery warning there, but we have been flying for 5 minutes at this time, which is not bad at all. And we still have a little bit, a little bit of juice. Now I'm not oriented properly, probably to go back there, but analog could not. Okay, the battery is kind of depleting. Okay. And with the robot home, I'm now placed probably a little bit better to fly in that area. I don't have these plants in the way, should have a better reception. I also lowered the camera angle a little bit so I can chase chicken better. I also put the goggles in race mode, so I hope we get a little bit better latency. Air mode, let's arm. I don't know if I am biased, but it feels maybe better. 21 megabits. It's very, very, very silent for sure. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel bad. It's totally flyable. Of course, it's not for racing, but for these small drones, entry-level stuff, it's gonna be nice. And you have a very nice HD view, so you can see the branches and everything, and also record usable footage. You can even up the brightness. Yeah, you see now. Oh! I don't know. Oh! Obstacles in the way. Hey! No, I still, even with the HD, it doesn't matter. I still hit all of the branches, which is crazy. Yeah, you get some stuttering when you go inside areas. I wish it was a little bit more powerful, but this technology is at its beginning, so I'm sure they will keep improving. But already I feel like it may be better than analog. If they can bring the latency down a bit and the range up, this thing is gonna be a no-brainer. Of course, nothing to spare with DJI, but I mean here, yeah, you could still put a 04 Lite because the weight would be similar. You will have a bit more jello, probably you need to put a bigger camera and the wide angle lens, and it costs much more because this system is quite inexpensive. I mean, you get everything you need to fly, including the goggles, for the price of a drone with a 04 Lite. So yes, for sure is a little bit quite a bit less expensive. I mean, it's totally flyable, it's fun, and I really can't wait for that 865 with the P1 integrated in the flight controller, because it sounds incredible, especially if you want to record and post. The analog doesn't feel that great anymore. I also probably need to learn this drone, but it's flying way, way, way better than the Aquila 20. Maybe some shake here and there, but remember, it's a little tiny whoop, very big propellers. I probably have an animal inside here. I feel it walking on me. Let me land 1 second. No, it's just sweat. Oh my god. It's super, super hot today. Okay. Can I fly back? Oh, that was me. I cannot. Yeah. Oh my god, the latency. It's like 150 milliseconds back there. But analog, it's kind of a toss-up. I mean, analog, the powerful ones are gonna have no issue back here, but the ones from the tiny whoops, I don't know why they didn't. Oh my god, back there it's very hard with the latency. I don't know why. Oh, okay. I don't know why they didn't bump it up to 400 milliwatts. It probably would have been better. When you are in proximity, is super, super nice. It's just when you go behind obstacles that the behavior is a little bit more erratic than analog, which just gradually has interferences, but it still is very, very, very smooth. This one starts, you can start feeling the latency a lot once behind obstacles. So of course this system is quite inferior to DJI, but it's also like way, 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 way less expensive. It's almost the price of analog. Okay, 4 minutes of flying is not bad at all. And it's time for my final opinion on this BetaFPV Meteor75 HD Kit. I feel like this is the beginning of something super cool. Already the experience is very nice. The drone flies super nice, and I feel like this is a better kit than the Aquila 20 for 90% of people, because maybe it's a little bit harder to start flying with it at the beginning because it doesn't have the sensors on the bottom, so it's gonna be a little bit more drifty, but it's a lighter drone. You can start flying indoors, don't worry about it crashing. It doesn't have much inertia, and you can still master the movement pretty nicely if you lower the camera angle, which you can do on this drone. And since it flies better, it has Betaflight, and you can even do freestyle with it, I feel like it has a much higher ceiling of learning with this drone, and it's fun even for someone like me, which I am expert. Aquila 20 will take you from level 0 to level 4, 5. This one probably starts at level 1, 2, but it will take you to level 6, 7. Oh my god, I said it again. BetaFPV actually offers this drone in 2 variants. You can get it analog or this one digital P1. And there are pros and cons with both systems, because the analog is gonna be way less expensive, $100 less, 200 versus 300. So already that's a big difference. Also, it's gonna be lighter weight because it's just one board instead of 2 in the current generation. I know BetaFPV is developing a 1-layer board with the HD transmitter inside, and that's gonna be a game changer, but for now we still have 2 boards, more heavy, and it still flies nice, but I know a lighter drone will fly better, have a little bit more efficiency. Also, analog feels way smoother while you fly because it has way less latency and it's just more fluid. But it looks like a CCTV camera. I don't like analog anymore because I'm spoiled. With HD, I cannot make out things while I fly. I cannot see chicken from afar. I cannot see the branches. And every time I fly, I wish it was digital. This system, on the other hand, has its opposite pros and cons, because you have higher latency, like it's acceptable while you fly in a close range, but as soon as you go further or behind obstacles, it starts being very, very noticeable and almost unflyable sometimes. But flying in 1080p is gonna be a much more immersive, fun and better experience, because you can see everything from afar. I can see the chicken down there, and it's just, you can see the branches, and it's much better. And you can even record videos that you can post on social media, and it's gonna look way better. But of course, this system is still in its early stages, and it's a bet you are making. I am seeing many companies developing products that will be intercompatible, they say, so we have this big promise of greatness in the future, but still there are not many products compatible with this. They are coming, there are goggle modules coming, and different screens, goggles, units, and there will be a big ecosystem. For now, it's usable, it's fun, but being a double layer board, it reminds me of the O4 Pro setups. They are gonna be quite more expensive, but they have crazy penetration, range, and much better image quality. And still the weight is gonna be very similar. So until they make 1-layer board for these tiny whoops. So once you understand the pros and cons of this system, I feel like it's something I can recommend. And that's all for today. As always, remember to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Let me know what do you think about this kit. Let me know what do you think about P1, Artlynk. And as always, if you want to buy something, check out the links in the description below, because clicking on them, you help my channel a lot, and many times you also find discounts. Thank you so much, stay safe, and happy flying. Bye!